Hauraki Gulf, we're this global hotspot, so we're one of these like rare gems. We've got quite a few seabirds here that breed nowhere else on this planet. So Hauraki Gulf is a treasure that needs to be protected and it needs to be restored. So for me, it's a marine park, it's a designated marine park, and a marina should never ever have even been allowed to be considered here in the first place.
Okay, let's get into this issue around the penguins at Kennedy Point. The developers went on something of a PR front foot initiative this week with a significant press release for media to include in their reporting. Kennedy Point Marina Project Director Tony Mayer says this is more about simply meeting our consent conditions. Our team care about the penguins too, and we are committed to ensuring that they are not only protected during construction but are looked after long term. The Marina Project team welcomed review and input from ecological consultant Dr. Lee Bull.
My review found that there are some additional penguin monitoring and management approaches and construction methodologies that can be used during construction works. The Marina team have agreed to accept all of my recommendations, which demonstrates their commitment to protecting the penguins at Kennedy Point. Some of these recommendations, such as real-time video surveillance, have already been implemented.
Director Kit Littlejohn.
All of Dr. Liebel's recommendations to strengthen our approved penguin monitoring and management plans for Kennedy Point have been welcomed and will be adopted. It has always been the intention of the Kennedy Point Marina team to ensure the penguins at Kennedy Point are protected.
From a local point of view and from the point of bird rescue experts on the island, it's not as simple as that. Well, Karen Saunders, thank you so much for your time.
You too, Greg. Thanks for having me on.
So the idea that a small part of the rock wall will be removed and that the penguins that were there would relocate themselves to further down the wall, that doesn't make sense to you?
No. So what happens when you destroy a penguin's home, it will go and find somewhere else to live because obviously it's homeless, it's at risk of predation and other things. So it's going to go to its neighbours' burrows. If you can imagine, next door looks like a good place just to be safe right now, but neighbours aren't too happy that you've just moved in, you know. So
I wouldn't want my neighbours living in.
No, it's going to be like a ripple effect right down that rock wall. So you're going to get stress going right throughout. And whoever's the strongest is going to win. You're going to get the mating season interrupted.
It's a very important thing for mating, right? They mate, if not for life, they mate regularly together, right? disturbed, are they going to continue just to live a happy life just behind a marina, do you think?
Part of the research I'd like to have seen done as part of their resource consent is what the effect is on the penguins. If you can imagine, that car park is a matter of metres away from their buttos and the rock wall.
New Zealand's first floating car park built just in front of the rock wall.
So what happens with a penguin is it has to be 100% waterproof to be able to survive in the ocean. So if it loses even 5% of its waterproofing, it's going to get water under its feathers, and into its skin it'll get hypothermic, and then it gets like dragged underwater and drowned with the weight of the water going under the feathers. So you're going to have 180-something boats in a marina. You're going to have the car park right there. So you get one weather event, okay? So the boats are rocking. You've got all the oil slick on the car park. That will wash into the water. That oil, diesel, whatever it is, antifreeze chemicals, floats on the water. The penguins just need to pop their head up once into that contaminated water, and they're going to lose their waterproofing. I think the numbers will just go down. The role of the developers, I don't really feel they are going to change. I feel it's all just one big greenwash, to be honest with you. If I could change things, I would get every single thing they're doing peer-reviewed at this point, because what scares me is if they can't get this little bit right, and the penguins are just one little tiny bit of the marina construction, then what happens with the engineering? What happens with filters and drainage and septic? In the time I've been here for 20 years, battle after battle to protect the Hauraki Gulf. It's how we have protected the environment here. There's a lot of passionate people on this island.
And what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that?
I think it's great.